Good evening to all.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, shall we start, sir? Or wait for, let's wait for 2 minutes, sir. Dr. Bala.
Sir, சொல்லுங்க சார்.
Start பண்ணலாமான்னு கேட்டேன் வேற ஒன்று.
ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம் சார், கட்டாயமா சார்.
Okay, please. Sir, shall we go to the second part or we need any recap?
ஒரு ப்ரிலீடு கொடுத்துட்டு அதை அப்படியே பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா அப்படியே ரீகேப் மாதிரி இருக்கும் சார்.
Okay, 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 okay. As I told already, energy conservation projects need mainly money. Biggest constraint in increasing number of energy conservation projects is lack of finance. Reason for lack of projects: most of the energy managers are either unaware of or unaware of available financial arrangements, and also difficulty in understanding the variety of financial arrangements available. Most of us also know the basic terms only. The advanced jargons we cover in this section. So they are not advanced, but we are not aware so far. That's all. To avoid failure for any project, we have to appraise the top management. Like any other project, we have to appraise the project, the payback period, and everything. Then only it will succeed. The proposal should answer the basic question. Only two. Just to how much will the proposal cost? Two. How much money will be saved by the proposal? These two are the basic questions. We have to be ready with our hands to appraise the management. Points to be appraised to the top management of the project about energy savings, lower operational cost, low risk bar reward ratio. As I told you already, risk bar reward ratio is a term which involves some certain calculation and all. It's just a word. Just remember, that's all. Reduced environmental cost, improved productivity, and enhanced quality of service. Potentially to improve company share value. Energy conservation needs investment to install new equipment, to improve process, to impart training, to implement and upgrade energy information system. These 4 points are very important, sir. We have to keep it in mind. To install new equipment, to improve process, to impart training for the staff, to implement or upgrade energy information system. Energy information system is a measurement and the software and all those things are commonly called energy information system. Financial analysis and techniques. I told you already, payback period. This is the simplest of everything. This is what we are using till date. And the net present value that you will see it, return of investment and internal rate of return. Payback period is the simplest technique. That is, as I told you already, this is a me. He's telling some words, complicated words. The management acts. Just tell me, when can I get back the investment? This question can be answered by payback period. Financial analysis and techniques, payback period. Payback period is a capital cost divided by annual savings. Suppose we invest 5 lakhs and we get 50,000 per annum. We'll get back the money in 10 years. That's it. Example, a cogeneration system installed is expected to reduce the company's annual energy bill by 23 lakhs. The capital cost of new cogeneration installation is 90 lakhs. Maintenance and operating costs are 5 lakhs. We have to minus 5 lakhs from 23 lakhs. The net earnings is 18 lakhs per annum. 90 divided by 18. That's all. 5 years. Advantage. Concept is simple, application is simple. Shorter payback period directly indicates an attractive investment. Needs no tedious calculation. Disadvantage. It doesn't consider the savings that are approved after payback period has finished. Example of 2 projects for comparison. See, for the first one, gets 1,20,000. The second one seemingly less attractive, but yet gains much payback after 50 years. This simple payback period is incapable of comparing these two. That's why we need some more advanced methods to calculate the inflow. The profit we make. The main thing we may be asked for one more question. The simple payback period does not consider time value of money. The time value of money is the one important word. Time value of money. Return of investment. What is the return of investment? Return of investment expresses the annual returns expected as a percentage of capital cost or initial investment. ROI is the inverse of payback period. Both are related. Annual net cash flow divided by capital cost. One thing you must keep in mind that the ROI must always be higher than cost of money. Cost of money is nothing but interest rate. Some typical words we may face in this chapter are cost of money. Cost of money means what? Money is money. What is that cost of money? Cost of money is cost of money we borrow. That's the interest we pay. Example, an outlay of 1 lakh for equipment is expected to provide after tax cash flow. What is that after tax cash flow? After paying the tax, what we get, that is the remaining cash flow inflow, 25,000 for 6 years without significant annual fluctuations. What is the return of investment? Annual net cash flow. 25,000 by 1 lakh is 25%. The interest rate may not go beyond 13%. So 25% is a good investment. Simple and easy to calculate. Like that simple payback period. The percentage of return makes it easier to compare with borrowing interest. This is the one big advantage. Limitations are even this method doesn't consider the time value. does not account for the variable nature of cash inflow, because the first year may give us some 25,000. The next year we may get 50,000. The next year we may get 75,000. So the variation in cash inflow, this method doesn't consider time value of money. This is what I insisted in the last presentation. The time value of money, what we get after 5 years, and what we make today as an investment, both cannot be compared with just value. It has to be, the future value has to be brought to the present value so that we can compare with that investment we make. That is the time value of money. The method by which various cash flows are related is called discounting or present value concept. That word discounting we may face frequently in this chapter. For example, under deposited in a bank will be worth rupees 1 ton the next year, considering 10% interest. Therefore, 1 ton in future is equivalent to 100 at present. Future value is equal to net present value into 1 plus I to the power n. I just wanted to explain this formula. That's why I made a small calculation for easy understanding. This one doesn't appear in our textbook. Example, 1,000 deposited for 9% interest for 3 years. Let us consider this example. At the end of first year, 1,000 will become 1,000 is P plus interest, 1,000 into 9 by 100. First term is principal, second term is interest. That means we can modify this formula as 1,000 into 1 plus 0.09. Once again, this yield has to be multiplied with 1 plus 0.9 at the end of second year. That is 1,000 into 1 plus 0.9 again multiplied with 1 plus 0.09, or say 1,000 into 1.09 square. Second year means 1.09 square. Third year means 1.09 cube. That is what I have given on the first line. Blue letters, net present value is equal to 1 plus I whole power n. I just derived this formula for easy understanding. Nothing complicated in it. 1 plus I power n is nothing. Just a simple calculation only. Net present value method. The net present value method considers the time value of money. This is done by equating future cash flow to its current value today. The present value is determined by using an assumed interest rate, usually referred to as a discount rate. This is opposite to interest, discount rate. Discounting is opposite of compounding. Compounding determines the future value. Discounting determines the present value. NPV calculation. NPV is nothing but net present value. Higher NPV is more attractive. Let us see the example. Future value is equal to NPV into 1 plus K power n. That's what we have seen in 2 slides before. That is 100 into 1 plus 0.1 to the power 1 is equal to 1 ton. This implies that we get rupees 1 ton at the end of first year, and the present value of it is 100 only. Similarly, at the end of second year, we get 121. This implies that we get rupees 121 at the end of second year, and the present value of it is just 100 only. How to find NPV? NPV, net present value, is equal to cash flow in the beginning. CF0 means 0th year. At the end of 0th year means the beginning of investment. The first term numerator will be the investment, that will be in minus term, and 1 plus K power 0 is 1. So we can straight away put the value. For example, if you invest 1.5 lakhs in the first time, just put minus 1.5 lakhs. That's all. Plus CF1 by 1 plus K power 1, and so on. K is the discount rate, and N is the number of years. NPV will be positive. The project is profitable. it will come negative if the project is not profitable, otherwise loss making. Advantages of NPV method. It has got some considerable merits. It takes into account the time value of money. This is one important point. It takes into consideration the time value of money. It considers the cash flow, swimming entire project life. The cash flow varies every year, and it takes into account the variation also. See, in this, we get 6,000, 5,500, 5,000, 4,500, 4,000, and everything. This accounts to be a profitable at first time, but we have to see whether it is profitable or not. Steps: minus 20,000 plus 1.08 to the power 0, 6,000 divided by 1 plus 0.08 to the power 1, and so on. And what we get is plus 10,867. What we have invested, sir? Yes. After making future cash flow into present value, we get a positive value. So this one is profitable only, because the value comes as positive one. Project 1, project 2, both are almost equal. Again, the internal rate of return method. What is that? IRR. In NPV method, as we already saw, positive value means profitable project, negative means loss-making project. If it comes to 0, it is the minimum, the maximum investment we can make, or to make the investment worthwhile. NPV is made to 0. That is, we are going to find what is K. Most of the question papers contain this type of question only, sir. We may be asked to find K. And all these things we have done already. By trial and error method, we are arriving at two values. In this formula, we arrived at 13% and 12% between negative and positive. So it lies between 12 and 13. And again, using this formula, we are finding IRR exactly. Up to this, we discussed, I think. Sir, all these questions we have seen. Can we move, sir? Or can we see Dr. Bala?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can we see it?
Yes, sir. We can see it, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Anand. The discount rate is used as an input to determine in net positive value. Discount means we have to think that this is opposite to compounding. Opposite to compounding is discounting. Discounting is done only for finding net present value. So what are the three financial tools? We know payback period, return on investment, present value method. Calculate the net present value of a project at a discount rate of 16% with an investment of 50,000 at the beginning of the first year, and savings 15,000 and 18,000 and 20,000 respectively at the end of first, second, and third year. The NPV. We can for 3 marks we can directly put minus 50,000 in the first term, sir. Second term 15,000 divided by 1.16. Third term 1.16 square, then 1.16 cube. The answer is minus 10,879. So the project is not viable. For saying it is not viable, we are getting 2 marks. IRR, the company knows 12 lakhs and completes its energy efficiency project at the beginning of year 1. The firm is investing its own reserve money and expects an internal rate of return of at least 12% on the constant positive annual net cash flow of rupees 3 lakhs over a period of 5 years, starting with 1. Will the project meet the firm's expectations? They are assuming 12% return, and we have to check it whether it is possible or not. After getting in the formula from the book, the negative is negative at 12%, and the project will not meet the firm's expectation. Correct answer. That's all. What is the IRR of this measure? So this is the major part of the program. So we have to equate it into 0, and we have to find it. It comes between 7 and 8, and we have to interpolate it to find the exact value that comes to 7.929. With the PPT, you can work it out, sir. I just browsed a few question papers and got this much of questions. For other questions, you may get many other questions, sir. This one, so we can start today's program. Cash flow diagram. It is nothing so complicated. It is a graphical method to look into what are the income we are getting in cash flow. Cash flow is also a term, sir. Cash flow is a term. We have to keep in mind all these terms. Salvage value, that is the value at the end of the life cycle period. Scrap value, otherwise you can say. You just see this. We make it for 3 marks questions, sir. What are the financing available with us? We are going to see one by one. Debt financing. Debt means borrowing, nothing else. Borrowing for interest. That is debt financing. All these are different terminologies. We should be aware of all these terminologies. Debt financing. In general term, we use the term bank loan and all. The technical name is debt financing. It is nothing but borrowing money and utilizing it, which is to be repaid later. Interest to be paid for borrowing and utilizing the money. That is debt financing. The primary sources of debt financing are, we know only one thing, that is loan from a financial institution. But there is another thing for a big company, that is bond. The company may release bond, which they repay after a specific period for 5 years or 10 years. Usually they give some attractive interest. Cost of capital is relatively easier to calculate since the interest rates and repayment schedules are usually clearly documented. Debt financing. Cost of capital. This is also a different term, sir. Cost of capital is nothing but the money we borrow, money we pay for the capital we are borrowing from a bank or through bonds. That is cost of capital. Added advantage. Interest payments on debt capital are, we get tax benefits. When borrowing money from a bank, we get tax benefits for the firm. In this method, the company has to take all the risks because any energy efficiency measures or any project for save energy may not be successful always. So the risk is always there. And when a company invests by borrowing money, the company has to take the risk. Is there any other way to avoid risk? We will see, sir. In this method, the company has to take all the risk and must install and manage the product. It has to install and manage the project on its own. Equity financing. This one is another method of getting money for the project, sir. Equity financing. Years back, I made one estimate for the government solar project. Equity financing, we have to make much return for that. We have to pay more than for the banking company that you will see. Equity financing. Under equity financing, the lender acquires ownership. Who is that lender? Lender is shares of the company. The lender has the right to participate in the financial success of the organization as a whole. When the company is unable to meet the requirement investment on its own, it goes for equity. Stocks and retained earnings. What is that? First one is borrowing and bonds that comes in the heading debt financing. The second one is equity financing. The equity finance, there are two types. One is stock and the retained earnings. Stocks, we know. What is that? Retained earnings. Retained earnings. Earnings are the amount of property company has already made. Leftover after paying all the costs, indirect costs, income tax, and dividends to shareholders. That is, it's own money, nothing else. Equity financing means stocks and own money. Own money is the terminology for own money. Retained earnings. Equity financing continued. The cost of capital for stocks is higher than the cost of capital for debt financing. This is the most important thing we have to keep in mind. For getting money from a financial institution, the interest levied will not go beyond 13% right now. But whereas for equity, we may have to pay more than 20%. This is due to higher profit sharing. Dividend means profit sharing. Also, the interest payments are tax deductible, but the dividend payments are not tax deductible. These are all the disadvantages of equity financing. We have to keep this in mind. Retained earnings. Retained earnings are the accumulation of annual earnings. Once again, we are seeing this. Retains within the company's coffers. Coffers means, it is a terminology. Coffer is nothing but, this is not technical term, the common term only. Coffer is nothing but khazana. Company's khazana. Rather than paying out to stockholders as dividends. Although these earnings are held by the company, they truly belong to the stakeholders and dividends, and hence the same cost of capital for stock is applied. When the company goes for both retained earnings and stock, the second point will be applicable. If it goes only with the retained earnings, that the second term does not arise. That means they truly belong to the stockholders as dividends. This term will not, this condition will not arise if the company goes alone with retained earnings. Capital lease. This means the project is leased out to someone, some third person, and you will make the profit, and you will give us a small share. This is a midway between debt and pure equity financing. We'll see this in detail in the next few slides. True lease. What is the true lease? True lease allows the use of equipment without ownership risk. True lease means we are totally giving it to a third person. We are leasing it out. We are disowning our ownership risks and poor performance, service, equipment obsolescence, everything. The all risks we are coming. We are disowning all these risks in true lease. We'll be doing some. No, we are not going to do any problems in the lease and all. Just keep this in mind. So that's all. The only thing, the words, the specific words we have to use. This is true lease is suitable for short-term use. Because in long term, will not be getting any return from this true lease. This is we get a meager amount as an income, and this is suitable for short term only. For long term, this is not suitable. For 15 years, someone else will be sitting and enjoying the benefits which should have been reaped by us, and he is giving just 5% to us. What is the meaning of giving true lease? So this is suitable only for short term. These payments are tax deductible, but no depreciation tax benefits are available. If you are the owner, then only we can claim depreciation tax benefits. Ownership does not occur even at the end of lease period. Yes, boss. Here come to the law. Important terminology. Yes, costs. Energy service companies. As an energy manager, we may have to go into a contract with a ESCO for our company we work for. ESCOs are companies that provide complete energy project service from assessment to design to construction or installation, along with engineering and project management services and financing. Everything they are looking at. It's a unique arrangement that allows the industry to make necessary improvements in energy efficiency while investing very little money. The contractor assumes responsibility for purchasing and installing the equipment as well as maintenance throughout the contractor. The contractor is paid based on the performance of the installed equipment. I saw one example what in this book, but I have not put it in the slide. The company is unable to make any investment, and the same type of contract ESCOs to an ESCO, they are awarding the work and they are investing everything from engineering and installation, maintenance and everything for 5 years. For the 5 years, for up to 3 years, whatever they get as an energy efficiency measures, whatever they get as profit, nothing but they were paying 10 lakh rupees per annum, and 1 crore rupees per annum. After energy efficiency measures, they are making more than 50 lakhs per month as cash inflow, but the investment they have not made. The ESCO has made, and they are taking up that 50,000 only, and they are giving just 5% of the gain to the company, only 5%. And the next year, they are giving 95%. And the third year, they are giving 90%. And at the end of fifth year, they are giving 80%. And after 5 years, they are selling what they have invested to a nominal value. And again, after 6th year, the company has to pay them a small amount for maintenance charges, towards maintenance charges. I'm just giving one example, but I have not put it in the slides, sir. Kindly bear with me. Otherwise, I can share in the group. Only after investments actually reduce the expenses, the contractor gets paid. The total risk is with the ESCO only. What are the shortcomings, challenges? For example, a retrofit of lighting has a good probability of expected cash flows. For example, if we are a energy manager in a company, we know that change bulbs, regular bulbs, incandescent or tube lights and everything with LED bulbs, you can easily calculate. It's a simple calculator. We know definitely we'll get cash flows. For this retrofit, we don't expert advice and expert help from a ESCO. Whereas for some complicated process, which may not have the time tested reliability, the company doesn't want to take risk. The in-house energy management team cannot manage the risk. Performance contracting may be an attractive option. Performance contracting. Note the words, sir. Performance contracting. What are the types of contracts we have? Fixed fee contract, shared saving contract, guaranteed savings contract. We'll see. First thing, fixed fee contract, we'll see. ESCO conducts an audit, designs the project and assists the customer to implement the project, or simply advises the customer for a fixed lump sum fee. That's all. Gives the idea and asks the customer to implement the project on their own. It gives a simple idea. This is for a lump sum fee. That's all. ESCO bears less risk. The risk is still with the company only, not with the ESCO. Shared savings. What is this shared savings? This one should have come as point 2. ESCO designs, finances, and implements of projects, verifies energy savings, and shares an agreed percentage of actual energy savings over a period of time with the customer. The more energy saved, the higher the revenues for both ESCO and the customer. Customer is the company. And guaranteed savings. ESCO designs, implements, and implements the project but doesn't finance it, although it may facilitate financing. ESCO designs, implements a project but does not finance it. The guarantee is that the energy savings will be sufficient to cover the debt service payments, but the ESCO has to give guarantee that the borrowed money will not cost much, so that the energy efficiency program will be viable. That guarantee ESCO has to give, but doesn't finance it. This one type of a contract, that's all. Less risk for the customer and more risk for the ESCO, because ESCO gives the guarantee that this will make more cash flow every year. What are the drawbacks? The sharing the savings with an ESCO, the tax benefits of depreciation and economic benefits must be negotiated. All these things are certainly complicated. So we have to get a good deal of agreement. This is a statement they have given in the PE books. Sir. Many companies feel that dealing with an ESCO would be too confusing or complicated. This is the general term they are here and put it in the textbook also. What are the pros and cons? Allows use of equipment with reduced installation operational risk. These are all about ESCOs, awarding work to ESCO. Allows use of equipment with reduced installation operational risk and reduced risk of poor performance. The equipment may poorly perform. The equipment may go obsolete. Service may be poor. All these are coming under risk. But we are disowning the risk, and the risk is taken care by the ESCO. This allows the company to focus on its core business objectives. Otherwise, they will be concentrating on the energy savings projects. That is, they are not in that particular business. Their own business is something else. Potentially binding contracts, legal expenses, and increased administrative costs. Costs must share project savings. Dealing with an agreement requires binding contracts, legal expenses, and increasing administrative costs. And OS must share project savings. This one is considerable, sir. By looking at those examples I saw, and the project savings are considerable, and we have to share it with the ESCO. In some cases, the ESCO provide a guarantee for the savings that will be realized and absorb the cost if real savings fall short of the level. This is also a contract. So there are so many contracts, and all these are discussed in detail. What is depreciation? Depreciation, detail about depreciation. What are the conditions required for depreciation for tax benefits? 3 points. It must be held by the business for the purpose of producing income. That equipment must be held by the business for the purpose of producing income. Then only it can be counted for depreciation, and we can claim depreciation tax discount. It must wear out or consumed, of course, consumed in course of its use. It must have a life longer than a year. 3 points. We can keep these 3 points in. For depreciation, they may ask such type of questions only. Nothing more than this. What are the role of ESCOs? So, some technical terms I already told you. We may face IGA, one word, that is investment grade energy audit. This is a big energy audit, not just like that, just like an audit. It has to be made by IGA, has to be made by the ESCO. To identify energy saving opportunities, assess risk. These are all the things we have already seen. Financing from own sources or arrangement with banks, purchase, installation, maintenance of equipment, training with new equipment to O&M personnel, monitoring of the energy saving measures, and the measurements of present value, baseline value, and everything we have to measure, and the guarantee the ESCO has to give to the company. Benefits to industry. Immediate upgrade of facilities and reduced operating costs without any initial investment. The company doesn't make any investment and get some small percentage of interest. Otherwise, it would have gone for mere waste of energy, waste of money towards energy cost. Access to ESCO's energy efficiency expertise. We are not expertise in ESCO's business. Positive cash flow, opportunity to use the money, improved operation is assumed by ESCO, comfortable productive environment, services paid which the consumer would otherwise have paid for utilities for wastage of money. This is what I wanted to stress. Supposing the ESCO is investing 1 crore and the 1 crore is totally owned by the external agency, that is ESCO. Company doesn't make the investment and they are getting nearly 30 lakhs per annum, say, and that 30 lakhs will be taken away by that ESCO and a small percentage will be given to the company. Over a period, this will be handed over to the company. Then what is the gain the company is getting? Just getting 5% of the cost saving. Already it was spending 50 lakhs per annum as energy bill, and again it is paying that 50 lakhs to the ESCO. What is gain in that? Nothing, because the customer would have otherwise used that money for wastage of energy. Now they are not wasting that energy, but they are getting a small amount of money back from the ESCO. This is the point I just wanted to stress. The last point is an important point, sir. Please note it down. Developing ESCO contract. These are all the things. It will be in 2 or 3 pages, sir. I just cut short and given it as a simple single word. You can go through it, and we may or may not get a long question, sir. Chances are low. Chances are very less. Mostly we'll get worked out problems only. You can just go through the points: self-assessment, established goals, conduct feasibility study. These are all the steps by starting the ESCO contract. First is self-assessment. We have to do that with our own energy manager. We have got energy management team, and that the self-assessment has to be done by the energy management team. We have to establish goals, conduct a feasibility study. We have to do a feasibility study, whether this is possible or not, in a preliminary manner. Determine suitable E project. E means energy efficiency project. We'll be confronting this type of words, E project. Financing. Enter into EPC. IGA, risk assessment. Calculations: energy saved is equal to baseline minus current recordings, current readings, plus or minus adjustments. Small adjustment we have to make. And one more word is PMV, that is performance measurement verification. All these words we have to keep in mind. Beyond this PowerPoint presentation, you may have to read 1 or maybe at the most 2 or 3 pages only, sir. The entire PPT will be sufficient for examination, I think, for up to 80%. You don't have to strike your head for all these things. Again, all these things, you can go through the book. Before concluding my session, I just want to present one worked out example. Can you read the question, sir? Please. What is that steel billet? You know, the billets are nothing but the lengthy rods used for making final product. This is nothing but this billets will be put into the furnace, and the molten metal will be used for some other products. That is called billets. Lengthy rod like bars. Just a billet, type billet in Google, and you'll see the images. 40 degrees centigrade, that is room temperature, that has to be risen to 1220 degrees centigrade in a furnace. The furnace is having an efficiency of 28%. The furnace operates 4,700 hours per annum. The calorific value of oil is 10,000 kilocalories per kilogram. We have to see all these things are kilocalorie, kilojoules, whatever it is given, we have to use them. Density of oil is 0.94 kg per liter. Cost of furnace oil is 40 per liter. Specific heat of billet. We are going to heat the billet. That's why we have to use that specific heat of billet that is given. Calculate the amount of energy necessary to heat 12 tons of steel billets per hour. Calculate liters of furnace oil fired. C is we are increasing it from 28 to 30% by adopting ceramic fiber insulation. At first sight, this may seem it is coming from paper too, but this one is purely with our financial management subject. What is simple payback period? If the investment is 20 lakhs. How large could be the investment to improve efficiency at an internal rate of 16%? Answer. Amount of energy required. M into Cp into delta T. Delta T is nothing. They are given just T. It is nothing. Temperature difference, not T. Temperature difference. Mass is 12,000 kg. Cp is they have given 0.12. Temperature difference is 1220 minus 40. We don't need to convert it into Kelvin. So the answer is 16,99,200 kilocalories per hour because we are using 12 tons of steel billets per hour. Second, we have found that amount of energy required to heat. First question, we have got the answer. Second question, liters of furnace oil fired per ton of steel billet. For 12 tons, you have got 16 lakhs 99,000 for 12 tons. For 1 ton of billet, we have to divide it by 12. We got 1,41,600. Input energy per ton of billet is equal to. We have to calculate the kilocalories input. This is the amount 1,41,600 is the amount of heat required, but we have to melt the billet. But what we have to give as input is much more than that. So we have to divide it with the efficiency. So it comes around 5,05,714 kilocalories per ton of billet. Furnace oil required in kilogram. The kilocalorie we have to divide it by 10,000 is kilocalorie per kilogram. Kilocalorie gets cancelled. We get kilogram. So 50.57 kilograms of tons of kilogram per ton of billet. Furnace oil is 50.57 kilogram is required for melting 1 ton of billet. Furnace oil required in liters. We have to divide it by the density, that is 0.94 kilogram per liter. Simple. Hourly furnace oil cost savings per ton. Just see this 53.79. We are multiplying it with 1 minus 0.28 by 30. 1 minus 0.28 by 30, what is that? Nothing else. We can expand that part within the bracket, that is 0.3 minus 0.28 divided by 0.3. 53.79 is for 0.3 efficiency, that is 30% efficiency. For the different amount, what is the cost? We are arriving. We got 161.37 per ton rupees. Hourly oil cost savings for 12 tons. That is the amount we got for per ton. For hourly, there are 12 tons of steel pellets are used. So we have to multiply it with 12 tons. We get 1936 per hour. Simple payback period. We got 1936 per hour. Yes, sir. In the question, we just saw one term. The annual usage of furnace is 4,700 hours. We got 1936 for per hour consumption savings. So 4,700 and 1936 will be the amount for whole year. We are getting 1936 is the savings for 1 hour. For 4,700 hours, the denominator will be 1936 into 4,700. The investment they made is 20 lakhs. So 20 lakhs divided by this amount will give us the payback period, just 4.2 months only. They are making in the reverse direction. The term, it may be a little bit confusing. Actually, the investment in the left hand side, that has to come to the right hand side with a minus sign. Can you remember now? Equating it into 0 and you are making it into moving it into right side, that will come in minus. So we are bringing it to left hand side, so it will become positive. The investment is equal to 91 into all these terms. Sir, any confusion? Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
That's all, sir. I think I have covered all those things except for a few pages of theory paper, and I think I covered the page, the chapter almost fully, I think. If I find any important problems, I will share it in due course. If you have any clarification, kindly. Yes. Otherwise, we'll conclude, sir. You have crossed 6 minutes, more than 6 minutes. Any feedback? What about my today's space? Was it quick enough? I was all along slow.